Okay, what's up everyone? I'm here to teach you how to safely do the kettlebell swing. I cannot tell you how many times I've had patients or clients come in and tell me they do kettlebell swings, and it is not a kettlebell swing. I don't even know what it is. I don't know what to call it. But unfortunately, I think whoever taught them how to do the swing, it's not done correctly. And then they end up dealing with wrist pain, elbow pain, back pain, neck pain, shoulder pain. So let's go over how to do this correctly. And if you can't do it, what can you do to build up to it? So first things first, it's all about position and setup. You have to have the kettlebell, I would say, at least somewhere between a foot and a foot and a half away from you. Probably a little over a foot is a good spot to be, almost like you're hiking a football. I've never hiked a football, so I wouldn't necessarily know, but you want to get down into this position so that you can shoot it back. So that's first. And then sort of, how do we do this? How do we hold the kettlebell? What do we do after positioning? So the kettlebell, this is called the horns of the kettlebell. You have to hold it on the sides. And then once you're here, we're not going to stay rounded. You need to sort of squat down, have a bell, if it's heavy enough, pull yourself back. And this is called a hinge. So we need to get into this good hinge position, and then we're ready to go from there. Now, with the kettlebell swing, it works the hip extensors, it works the back muscles, works the core muscles. To slow it down and break it down, you're gonna be in this hinge. You're gonna shoot the bell back. And then from here, I want you to think about pushing the ground away, shooting your hips forward, and that is what's going to constantly drive the swing. So it's not arms, it's not back, it's shooting the hips through and creating lag in the bell. So you have to be patient in some parts of the swing in order to make sure that you're actually doing it correctly. If you rush it, then you're going to take over with your arms, with your hands, with your wrist. You have to be patient and create lag so that you're really shooting your hips forward and getting a lot of power. So what I mean by that is I'm going to get into this good setup position, hinge back so that I get my back relatively flat. I'm loading my hips, I'm getting into this power position. Now I'm gonna shoot the bell back, drive my hips through, drive my hips through. I'm being patient, I'm waiting till the bell gets all the way back and then pushing through. With my hands at the top, the bell floats. I can literally let go of the grip and it floats. A couple things, what I mean by that is I get through, the bell's floating, I can literally let go of it. So what I have to do is let the body be relatively relaxed. Now it's all about how you come back into the position. So don't let your upper body just bend and round. It's from here to, again, hinge. Try and keep your back relatively flat. You're gonna feel your hamstrings load up a ton. As long as you feel your hamstrings and butt loading up a ton and working, then you're in a good position and you're doing it correctly. I don't want to see this. Another big thing that I see people do wrong is hand and wrist position. So holding the bell while you're doing it, try to keep a relatively neutral wrist. When you come down, don't let this motion happen with the bell. You gotta really fight the urge to keep your shoulder blades squeezed back. Get your feet wide enough so that the bell is just going through. You're staying here, driving the hips through versus this, up, this, up. That's where people have really sore and tender forearms because they're just putting extreme load and stretch on these forearm extensors here. So those are a few big takeaways with the swing. Again, remember, it's all about practicing this hinge. So what I would say is, I'm gonna grab a dowel real fast. I'll be back. A short dowel, all right? You would have it here, across your back, touching 3 points. We have videos on this. How to do a hip hinge while keeping a flat back. This is the starting point. This is the prerequisite before you can even do a swing. You're here, back of the head, mid back, low back, hinge. Be able to practice this. Okay, there we go. I got some team support here. Low back, mid back, head and neck, keeping all 3 points. If I round and bend like I showed in the video earlier, I'm losing those points of contact. So you have to practice this and then push out. So see from this position, here. If you see from here, here. Forward, just that good hip hinge. Shooting the butt back, my knees aren't going over my toes. You see, so it's, my knees are bending, but they're bending by my hips going back. You master that, then you can do a pull through exercise. A band is behind me, loading it, pulling through. Loading it, pulling through. We have videos on that as well. Mike, you mind holding this band real fast? I'll get it through my legs. Mike is gonna hold it. You can do this with cables or just setting up a band. Load it, pull through. My upper body is not doing this motion. I'm not using my arms. I'm just holding onto the band and driving with my legs. So it's a great place to start. We reviewed a few things of what to do, what not to do. Start with a lighter bell if you need. I'm gonna catch my breath at this point now.